Hey everyone, welcome to the North American Challenger Series, brought to you thanks in part to our friends at Coca-Cola. I'm David Frick-Turley alongside of me, packing 5 Doran's Blades is Aiden's Irene Moon. How's it going?
It's going all right, Freak. We got to start this off right. Give me some skin. Bam.
Done. I didn't even get cut by your Doran's Blades. It was great. Today is the last quarterfinal match of Summer Series 2, and it's between 2nd seed Team LolPro and 7th seed Cognitive Gaming.
Yeah, and the last time we saw Team LolPro in Challenger, they were handily beat by Team Coast in the Summer 1 finals in London, but they still finished in 2nd place. They've already clinched a playoff spot, and now they boast a former LCS pro at the support position.
Exactly. Former Dignitas player Patoy has joined the team and obviously has his sights set on a return to the LCS. Patoy actually has the highest career KDA of all North American LCS supports in history. Things are actually going pretty good for your team when you acquire a guy who's statistically better than Aframu, Lemonation, and Xpecial combined.
Yeah, but
KDA combined works.
But statistics, they're either completely true or they're just flat out lying to you. Then today, LolPro faces Cognitive Gaming, who were named Team Solo Kill in the Challenger play-in. And Cognitive had a reason for that name. They love to fight. They mostly take part in little small skirmishes around the map, but look for them to use a lot of aggression early to try and take control of this matchup.
So here's a snapshot then of how the Summer 2 tournament stands right now at this time. Team Coast and Team 8 are preparing to face off in the semifinals next week after both their dominating quarterfinal wins.
And after today's match, the other semifinal will be set. Either Team LolPro or Cognitive Gaming will face Curse Academy 1 week from today.
And of course, whenever you win in the Challenger Series, you get points for your postseason. At the end of Summer Series 2, the teams with the 6 highest scores will clinch a playoff spot, and of course 5 of those spots are actually already spoken for. Team Coast, Team LolPro, Curse Academy, Team 8, and Wasabi Gaming all have made it, but are now battling for a first-round bye.
And if Cognitive Gaming wins today, they will take the 6th and final spot in the playoffs. But if they fall to LolPro, they'll have another chance, and there'll be a 3-way tie between Cognitive, Denial Esports, and Zenith Esports.
So those teams going to be rooting for LolPro in this game, of course. And to keep up on all the Challenger action, log on to lolesports.com.
Under the Leagues and Tournaments tab, you'll find scores, schedules, and everything else you need to follow the Challenger Series and the LCS all season long.
All right, so the teams are in the lobby. We're about to be going for this best-of-3 matchup. Team LolPro versus Cognitive Gaming, and we haven't gotten to see COG very much, but so far they have been doing very well in their play-in games.
Yeah, they used to be Team Solo Kill, and they love to group up and have small skirmishes. They are 48, 18, and 94 in 2 games. That's an average of every kill you participate in. There's at least 2 assists on the back end of it. So a lot of kills down bottom with jungler assistance, a lot of skirmishes in the mid-game.
And they're betraying their name. They're not getting solo kills. They're clearly getting them in groups of 3, so that's unfortunate. But we're going to talk about LolPro's new support, Patoy, 6.19 KDA in the North American LCS. Again, we said it's the highest for supports throughout the LCS. He's real good.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned here too, though, because back when they had Low, he was the shot caller, and they had the patented lotation strategy that kind of carried them up to first, or at least this first in points, and then they ended up tied with Coast, and Coast overtook them 2-0 in that finals. So without having Low on the team, they've only had a couple of weeks, 2 weeks or so, to really mesh with Patoy, and what has he brought to the team, and is he a shot caller for them?
Yeah, and that's going to be the interesting trick as well, is I haven't seen Patoy play on any teams for a while, and the game changes over the course of a year or so, right? And the types of things that work before don't often work now. People are a lot more focused on how the side lanes work out. Like, back when Patoy was with Dignitas, teleport top lane wasn't a very common thing. Like, yes, Kiwi Kid used it some, but it wasn't the go-to. So you do have to kind of question just how up with the times he is.
Yeah, so there's still a distinct possibility Cognitive could run away with these games if the shot calling falls apart, because this is high-level challenger play. In 5s, it's a group game. You're not going to be watching solo queue, and just having team solo kill and winning your lane be the key to victory. You need shot calling, decisive action.
And we'll see if they can have that for themselves. Of course, we also want to talk about LolPro's, I guess at this point it's not new anymore, but their mid laner, Lod, he's actually done incredibly well, over 80% kill participation. He's just the biggest member of that team.
Yeah, he was the MVP for me on this team in particular, because every time he seemed to show up. His Syndra games were incredible and warranted bans later on in the season. He kept playing these champions that were fairly new to him because he came from the AD carry role,
Right.
but now he's embraced that completely. And a lot of the best challenger mid laners are former AD carries. We have Slushie, we have Laud. All these guys just transfer their skills over and work phenomenally well with the game.
Yeah, you even had guys like Nian and Wild Turtle both had swapped to mid lane for a short time and had some decent midterm success. Of course, I think those two are best served actually staying on AD carry. I don't know what Nian's going to be up to at some point, but Wild Turtle's obviously a great AD carry on TSM. He went back to his own calling, but. So the question is, basically it's Cognitive, who we haven't gotten to see much of, right? We haven't streamed them very much. They played their play-in games. They are around in the other various challenger tournaments, so they've got some experience under their belt. But you still have to really say, how well do they stand up now being tested on the big stage?
Yeah, and speaking of being tested in outside tournaments, LoL Pro have been looking in a slump lately. I've been looking at their outside tournament scores right now in, I think it's the NESL Pro Series, or I think it might be Premier Series, actually. It's the NESL Pro Series. They are currently the last team in terms of bracket standings over 8 other teams.
Right.
There's things in there like No Dice Gaming that are higher than them. Wasabi Gaming's higher than them. They are very low in those standings, and I don't know what that's going to do for them coming into this and having a roster swap at the same time.
Right.
Maybe it'll help them. Maybe it'll be.
I mean, that's the goal, right? I mean, you don't pick a roster swap with hopes that it actually decreases your chances of winning. Basically, with Team LoL Pro, as we talked about, they replaced their support there. They basically weren't getting. This will be an oversimplification, but it's fairly accurate. They weren't basically getting along with Low very well. The first time they actually all met in person was actually in London. Was actually at the Wembley Arena for the Challenger Finals, and they realized, this won't work as a long-term team. We don't mesh as sort of people, personality-wise, so they went to go look for someone else. And it's only been 2 weeks with Patoy, but they think things are looking up for the team at least, and at the very least, there's a future ahead for them.
Okay, so it's a long-term decision there by the management of LoL Pro.
Yeah, I mean, the players themselves, of course, because it's them who are playing. But yes, basically them deciding they wanted to replace that. So, picks and bans starting up, of course. Gragas, Lee Sin, Tristana all removed away from Cognitive. Meanwhile, Twisted Fate, Cassidy, and Kog'Maw all away from LoL Pro. And I would not be surprised to see Kog'Maw banned from Hood Stomp all the time. Yeah,
he loves that champion. He loves Graves as well, but not kind of in the meta right now at all. Tristana, Kog'Maw banned away. They're going to go with the hyper-aggressive AD carry for Hood Stomp, which is his fallback. So now, what's Cruel going to go with? Because he is actually rocking a 23 KDA right now off the back of Caitlyn and Tristana.
Yeah.
Might go for the Kate and try to match the aggression in lane, or he might go for something else. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think my guess definitely would be Caitlyn here. I think it makes the most sense there. A lot of random hovers here for Cognitive, but I want to kind of take a quick look at the fact that Rengar actually got first picked here, which is very interesting to me because it's normally not the heavy priority champion here, but Heaven Time really being about that Rengar. And to be fair, it could be Hanser as well.
Yeah, that's true. It could be a top lane Rengar. There's a lot of options here for where it can go, and we just have to see if they're playing a mind game or if it really is going to go to the jungle like standardized.
Well, when you consider the champions, like Lulu is still up, and yet, right, they don't go for that one. Of course, that went first round here for Cognitive. That actually gives me more reason to believe that, because there are so many other good junglers available, like the elites, like the Evelynn that just got grabbed here, that I feel like the Rengar is actually, they're trying to sneak in a top lane, even though it's, I feel like to me right here, it's not that sneaky. But maybe I'm wrong and it actually was, trick the whole time, right? That's the deal with the flex pick, is you can always make your choices later. Lulu top going to be around. Evelynn jungle grab. The whole bottom lane is there. It is Caitlyn plus the Braum here for Cognitive Gaming. And now the last few choices for LoL Pro, they need a mid laner and a top or jungle.
Yeah, that hover over Draven, I would believe that for a bit if this was 4.12, because Lucian is actually really good in the mid lane currently. And if they even try to pull it out right now on the 4.11 patch that they're playing, man. But yeah, if they're going to do a ball delivery system, I would totally see this one coming. Orianna Rengar combination is very deadly. You leap in, you get the root. Even if you miss that root, you get a follow-up one because you'll get 5 Frosty from your ultimate, and it is going to be that jungle Rengar.
All right, well, that explains the Rengar grab. Then they're not caring about the rest of the lineup. They just want to make sure they lock in that combination for themselves. They weren't worried about Orianna being taken, and they got that on their last round here. So top lane Ryze, mid lane Orianna, and the jungle Rengar through here for Heaven Time. Someone I have not seen play much of the champion, but I guess they practiced it enough to feel confident. Cognitive now to make their last few choices. The interesting thing, actually, with fighting Orianna Rengar is Caitlyn has a really hard time getting away from that. I think she actually needs the Morgana. Well, I mean, you can't get a Morgana unless you go mid-Morg. It's really hard for Caitlyn to get away because you'll actually stuff her 90 caliber net at all times with a Shockwave, and so it's very easy to trap her down.
Okay, I think this is actually going to be a Yasuo.
Yeah.
Because the way that their composition was looking, Lulu top, they got that first rotation alongside of Braum. It's just the most logical way to go with it. And they did hover Yasuo for a little bit in earlier champions.
Okay, well then here's kind of the risk then is there's a chance actually that I suppose Doppler can put the wind wall up and prevent further damage off of a shockwave combo. Whenever I see a combo like that, I'm like, here's the very obvious thing you're going to look for is, the ball delivery system on the cat, and Rengar's going to go in there and the shockwave's going to come out. Then what happens? Like, it's a very obvious key point of every single team fight is they're going to look for this every single time. For Cognitive, they don't have a ton of peel for him, but it just might be enough that the shockwave won't turn into kills all the time. Wind wall, Braum, shield, maybe there's just enough defense coming out of Lulu, but I think it's still a tough road ahead for Cognitive.
Yeah, they're going to have to watch for those level 6 ganks. They do have some Wombo combo in their team, but then at the same time, LawPro does as well.
Yeah.
The Ryze Wombo combo alongside the Orianna,
right,
the Rengar. Then you have, Yasuo on the other side with the Lulu. There's a lot of different things that each team brings to the table here, but they want to team fight each other is what it's
true.
Like. But you will get some picks with Rengar in the start.
And it's true, and I suppose I don't want to understate how effective Cognitive can be as well. Evelynn flanks into Lulu ultis are a good way to start fights. Braum can also flash Glacial Fissure, so those things exist. I think it's just, to me, it's slightly harder to land, but of course these are among the best players in North America, so you got to believe they can pull it out. They're going to get ourselves into the game. Interestingly, right off the bat, Patoy opens Doran's Shield Thresh. That is extremely uncommon.
Yeah, a lot of people will start with one of the gold generation items. Sometimes it's the Ancient Coin.
I actually hate Coin Thresh.
Some people do it if they're lane swapping.
Yeah, it's the only time I think you can do it.
Start with the Relic Shield.
Some do Ruby Crystal.
Some do Ruby Crystal, like Lemon does Ruby Crystal to get the Sightstone early.
Yep.
But the Shield, especially against a bottom lane that only has one person who would be doing ranged auto attacks to you early. Because the Braum's not going to be making any use of that.
Nope. Well, early jungle push comes through. I believe, was that a real green ward that got put down there by Cognitive?
Yes, one of them is a real green ward.
It's the one on the red buff. Interesting. So they really want to be able to track Heaven Time's jungle route here. Laugh from Trance, why not? He's safe. Gears don't hurt Braum very much.
Throwing a wrench in their plans.
So far.
Took a little HP.
Yeah, he regenerates.
He had a good chuckle about it, too. That was like a sensible chuckle.
Yeah, that was a strong, meaty laugh. That was like /L with a capital L. That'd be cool if it was different if you capitalized it.
And then if it was just all capitals, just really loud.
/laugh in all caps. You can do /L, right?
Yes.
Okay.
L
all caps, I just did /L. Yeah, /LOL is the same, actually.
/laugh. Boom. And this has been a macro class with freaking Zyrene.
Why not? You also hit control 4 is laugh, I believe.
I always use D for laugh.
D for laugh. That would be my ignite key.
And F for dance.
F for dance. Yeah, that's how it works. Well, here we go, guys. We're going to get ourselves into this match, and looks like we're going to completely standard lanes. Jungle Invades just turned into some vision, and they know that Heaven Time started out on the bottom side of the red buff here. The early 2-on-2 looks like push lead will go to LawPro. They miss 2 CS, but that's okay. They're going to push on, and looks like level 2 will come in first for the boys in blue here.
Good amount of trading in the mid lane. They already got a potion out of Doppler, and Laud is chugging one of his too. They both got down to about half HP. No summoners blown with a good trade.
That's the thing to watch out.
Invade here in the jungle.
All right, looks like the Kitty wants to play against Evelynn, but look at that. The early defensive Trinket Ward comes out, and Schroeder Ace will be ready to fight back. Hides in the wings, Heaven Time puts the wards down, says, you knew I was coming.
The mid laners, though, are just so engaged in fighting each other and fighting for this CS that nobody can come to back it up.
I think he just
starts it.
Oh, man. Hoplin, though, big play right here. Haunter only has Flash, the combat summoner. And Dragon Raider just pushed some health down. Is forcing him to chug some potions. They're going to stay safe. Heaven Time still wants to battle Shorter Ace. The first smite goes through. Heaven Time gets it. Shorter Ace does not smite the correct target.
Here comes Yasuo, though.
Oh, man. The chase is on. No Flash available. Doppler wants to be here. The Qs, Shorter Ace is catching up. Nice slow, though, will get him away. And the buff steal goes through. Well played to Heaven Time.
And a flash from either side. Heaven Time ending up with this bluff steal. And Evelynn actually makes his way straight top.
trying to make the best of his time. Actually, will walk into Heaven Time first. Oh, gets revealed though, and doesn't want to fight against the two of them. No health left on Shorter Ace. He makes the wrong call, and down he goes.
And no support there from Dragon Raider. He had less HP and was not able to combat the Rise. He came to the lane with a little bit more damage in his pockets.
I'm disappointed that Shorter Ace tried to run into Rise instead of just fighting the Rengar right off the bat. I think it could have pushed Heaven Time away and then kind of ran farther south to escape, maybe. Because he knew Rengar was low from the earlier fight.
He still came back to engage it. Ooh, the hook.
Wow.
Wow.
Just off to the side. I know it looked like a hit for me too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Very flexible cop.
Yep. And dodging bullets. He's Neo. Doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Dodged a lot of hooks too. That was quite impressive.
Is it Peter Pan?
See,
Best I can get.
no, I was jogging my brain for something with a hook in it, and I was like, can't think of anything. I'll just give up.
The movie Hook
boom.
would be one.
Yeah.
You would think there would be hooks involved, and that was the case. You could also go with I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think.
Have you ever seen that movie?
I think I have. I've seen one of them. There were sequels.
I think I have.
Good enough. Well, here we go. Heaven Time, though, of course, with the First Blood assist, the recall for the longsword, putting a lot of ward control down. He can really track Shorter Ace here as he goes across the map. And maybe. No, I guess with mid lane pushed in, Doppler's just got a turret to hide behind, so no kill pressure there just yet. Dragon Raider does have flash, but no ward coverage.
Ooh. Well, we don't know about movies, but this wasn't seen down bottom. Shorter Ace making his move in.
Oh
Playing
no, Trans stays a little bit too far, has to jump back to Cruel, and he's gonna survive after burning the Ignite away, but no kill will happen. Teleport in for Hanser.
Interrupted.
Yeah, Dragon Raider does land.
There comes Heaven.
There comes Heaven Time. Good flash to get away from the Vola, and Dragon Raider stays safe.
A lot of ganks going out simultaneously here, but no capitalization. But there is an 800 gold lead for LOLPro from one kill and the CS advantage they've created in the top lane and the bottom.
600 gold for the First Blood with assist, another 200 for the minion scores. Well played by these guys. 12 minion lead on the bottom, and I gotta say, very well done by Hoodstomp and the new sort of addition for Toy to make that happen.
And a big thing here is that the First Blood went on to Hanser on the Rise. You don't want it on the Rise. Maybe the jungler, but the fact that he's able to get that early tier and he's gonna have the Catalyst out of Aegis a little sooner, it's going to be terrible because he's gonna be not as bullied in lane by Lulu, and then he'll be able to transition into his Glacial Shroud and the Frozen Heart, which will be hell for the Yasuo. And now, trying to just apply pressure all around the map where they need it. Heaven Time trying to make a move in.
Well, he's recalling right now, but this could be the way in. They're going to
Oh,
go right
far.
here. Jumps into a minion. There's the E. The slow as he dodges the good wind wall, but there's the root in place. Doppler might have to burn Flash here, and he does. He's going to get out, but loses some health and a Summoner Spell.
Good control by Laud to not blow his Shockwave. That was really good restraint because the wind wall just stunted the ball and its advance, and then afterwards there's just no real opportunity. So I like the fact that he wasn't willing to just use it nitty-witty.
Yep.
Nitty-gritty.
Nilly-willy?
Nilly-willy.
That's the one.
Nitty-gritty.
We're good.
No, get down to the nitty-gritty
Okay.
on the nilly-willy.
Great. That's how that went.
Save myself.
Sure. You know what? I'll believe in this one.
Boom.
You already see a play being made. Braum is supporting Evelyn in the attempt for a red buff steal right on the respawn. That's part of the reason for the 3-minute ward as well, is saying, hey, we'll know the exact timer. Type it one in chat in this patch. And then there you go, red buff steal, 7 minutes, 30 seconds in. Heaven Time gonna walk by and be very sad. Shorter Ace, but look at, yeah, it's for 5. I was wondering why he's getting that one down. That is a level up. Nope.
Heaven Time. He just got his red buff stolen. Doesn't feel good, does it?
No. Nope. Yeah. Gotta be careful on this one. Trance showing up.
Evelyn's on this side of the map, though. Last time, though, that was not a very good gank setup by Trance and Cruel. They play too far forward when there's a gank available. And Hoodstomp and Patoy are just reading it.
And you got a player with a lot of experience there playing on the pro scene. You're going to be able to read people sometimes. Flay's not going to land.
That's that experience paying off.
Back right off. They're going to be okay.
Shorter Ace.
That's mean.
I know, it's very mean. I'm a very mean person. It was a great segue, though.
Yes.
I had to use it.
Didn't even have to walk.
Yeah. Just hopped right on board. And Heaven Time, they just have tabs all over this Kitty's jungle. Heaven Time is not having a good time.
Well, he's not too far down in levels at the very least. They're actually equal in items, just more consumables still on Heaven Time. He's actually spending a lot of money putting wards down, but it's letting him potentially fall behind in the item gain here, right? Shorter Ray spent some time dead. Eventime had a 200 gold head start.
I'm not so concerned with the levels, but I'm more concerned with the levels. Here's the 6 Reveler.
And there we go. Big damage coming through. Eventime very close to it. Heals himself, takes a lantern out the hook onto Trance, and there comes Hanser, though. Here comes Dragon Raider as well. First kill goes over onto Rengar. Shorter Ray's at 1 HP, so is Trance, and they don't have a way out of this one. Dragon Raider 2-man slow. The trap comes down, and I can't believe it, Shorter Ray's and Trance got out.
Hey, living up to their name still. They got a kill, but at the same time, there were 2 assists on the back of it, so they're being very consistent in how they've played in the past.
Yeah, it's the counter ganks, and they're working pretty nicely for them. The kill coming through though on a 4-on-4 is pretty impressive for how much it felt like the bot lane was winning from LoLPro already.
Yeah, that was the big thing for me though, right before that gank happened, and I just couldn't get it out. There's something wrong with me today.
It's okay.
The fact that Eventime is behind in items isn't as big a deal as the fact that he's behind in levels, because he was 5 coming into that, didn't have his ultimate, and you want to get 6 as fast as possible as Rengar. Evelyn came up, already had ultimate, was able to use it that fight, and got out alive pretty much because of it in the shield.
Yeah, honestly, 10 minutes is a very, very late level 6. I would consider 7 minutes on the slightly fast side, but anything close to that, maybe within 8, is good. And that was just nowhere to be seen at all for Eventime. You're absolutely right.
The jungler is further behind than the support right now in levels.
Yeah, that's a rare sight. Hanser, though, is up a little bit here on Dragon Raider. 26 minions kind of cashing in that first blood on further lane advantage. First blue buffs going over. Shorter Race actually keeps his because he's, of course, got a Yasuo mid lane. Doesn't care much for that one.
He's also going to be 7 at the same time Eventime gets 6. So there they are, coming out with those levels after the gank. And after that last camp.
All right, well, Rengar has a ball of yarn to play with finally. Level 6 can turn invisible, and maybe he can sneak up on somebody. Still does not have Blizzard Elder done.
Maybe you'll have a ball of yarn from Orianna just slapped right on him.
Yeah.
See, I hope they chose that skin. I didn't look.
Zone Chaos?
I don't think it is.
That's unfortunate. I don't think anyone really runs the skin. They're going to go in for Hanser, though. No ulti yet on Evelyn, but can they get the knockup from Lulu? They're almost in range, but they can't quite do it. Damage on a Hanser. Pops the ulti, deals some damage back, and chugs a couple biscuits.
Right now, Orianna, Lod, the new guy to the mid lane. I can't really call him new still. We still like to.
Yeah, I do.
But man, 110 CS at 11 minutes. He's farming his brains out. But he didn't take the skin.
No, that's okay. And part of that could be the reason that this Rengar is so far held down. There's a lot of players who just focus very heavily on taking the Wraith camp over and over, making their scores look good, getting their gold income. And that can't deny your junglers. The easiest camp to clear is Wraiths. It's always on the way to your roots. It's quick to kill. They're low health units.
And on that note, it's one of the most effective camps to ward because they're always going to be clearing it out. And the hook.
Oh, that one does land. Cruel's got to back up for that one. 2-man play hits as well. Beatable stuff here, but here comes the rest of the gang. Trance now locked up in the front lines, goes down very cleanly. Nice job by LoLPro.
Eventime closed all of that distance, didn't even use his ultimate. So he still has that available for the next game.
That is actually a pretty big thing. Bottom turret will be going down here. Patoy takes some damage. All right, there we go. Eventime claims that one. He got all the local gold, actually, so a bit of a tiny spike for him.
Definitely needs it. We were talking about how he's getting behind in items. Doesn't have his boots yet. Shorter Race does, and now the ping's coming around the Dragon area. Eventime looking for those deeper wards.
And it gets one down right there. Of course, the actually purchased stealth wards do see farther than trinket wards, so that will actually let him actually see into the blue buff where a trinket ward would not. That'll be a nice little thing for him. He's actually already swept to the red trinket anyway, or the red bone tooth necklace at this point. 24 minions, though, is a remarkably low number. That's what he's going to have here for Eventime. However, Cognitive group up, and they want Dragon off the recalls, and they're going to have complete control.
Rod, looking for it, gets nothing. But COG get the first Dragon of the game, put themselves a little bit further up. 1,300 gold in the deficit, though.
It's not horrible, but it is one to keep in mind here. So really what matters is where the gold is and who's using it for what ends. Hanser basically is the guy with the gold lead there, right? 27 minions and a first blood is a significant portion of what that 1,300 gold lead would be. And so unless Hanser either becomes his late game carry or starts really creating pressure that holds down Dragon Raider, the rest of this map is basically equal.
Yeah, they're falling behind by about 100 gold every minute, which isn't bad. I mean, if you think about it, 30-minute mark, you'll be like, oh, we're down 3,000. It's not bad at all.
Yeah. I do it as a percentage of the enemy team's gold. Yeah, I say 10% is like, it's fine. 30% is like, you're probably going to lose this game.
It's pretty relative to how much they have, because sometimes you see very slow games, you see lane swaps, then gold income in one of the lanes is stunted, and things like that happen. So percentage is actually a fantastic way to do it.
That's my general rule of thumb anyway, but sometimes it doesn't matter. You've seen games, you know, won with gold deficits, of course. Very large ones at that. CLG were playing with a 10,000 gold deficit most of the game, which was like a 25% reduction. They were just fine.
Nothing from that ultimate on Heaven Time. It's a good instinct to back off from Doppler. He pushed the wave up, and there's no reason for him to be so far forward. But now, Laud and Heaven Time are going to try to bully him out.
Uh-oh, Hoodstomp's got to be careful. He doesn't know these two are in the brush. He walks very far forward. Patoy's around.
Patoy's?
And he could lantern him out. This is good by Patoy. He's walking too far forward.
Oh, what?
Oh, they don't want it at all, and now they go in anyway, though. Trance goes for the ulti, the Q comes across as well. Caitlyn ulti on top of Patoy, but Trance just way overextended, just goes down right away. Hoodstomp's already got a Trinity Force, does so much damage there. Dragon Raider T-feed, here comes Hanser, there's the E, there's big damage coming out, the flash away, Patoy stays alive, Wild Growth used, Rise in range, and Dragon Raider forced to burn both summoners to escape.
And now Yasuo on the backside, but Oriana's looking to pinch him in. And they get nothing from there. But
oh! I think he crit both shots there, too. He crit at least one of them, but I could have sworn I saw two.
With the Trinity Force? Maybe he got one or two. Oh, he just crit those two as well.
Yeah. Hey, man.
It's Hoodstomp's lucky day.
Roll the dice. Sometimes it works out, though. Might have been enough without the crits. But, hey, made it happen, though. Well played by Hoodstomp. And now, suddenly, it's looking even better for LawPro. 2,500 gold leads, pretty substantial. They're set to siege mid.
That's why you pray to RNGesus before the game. Double crits on Lucian shots. That looked like it was back-to-back, too. And Toy with the hooks. Shorter Ace looking for a flank. Oh. They're going to have to forfeit this
They need to wait for the AD carry, but the shotgun comes in right as the turret goes down, and Trance is in the wrong spot, forced to flash away, but they will trade one back. Supports go down. Shorter Ace, one hit from dead, but Hoodstomp can't quite reach him. Q from Cruel. Heaven Time ulted. He's not going to get anything for that.
Walking around pretty limply there. He looked pretty loose. He wasn't ambulating at all.
I mean, he's also got no boots, right? So, like, that 50% boost speed you get in stealth is doesn't really matter when you're still slow.
You get a larger portion after you break the stealth. And you have to be moving towards somebody as well.
Yes, you do.
So.
Yes, you do.
He's just chilling in the stealth. I love how they wait for the turret to go down and then they engage it. That forces Shorter Ace's hand. He had to make a decision there and had to go in. The rest of his team just wasn't there quite yet. And LawPro come out on top with a really good trade.
Except for them, Hanser wants to push down Dragon Raider as well. This turret has not really been taken down any time, but it's still that 20 minion lead just kind of holds equal here for Hanser. If he can actually get some health down to the turret, kind of create some more pressure on the map, that'd be good for LawPro.
Yeah, he's already got his stacking build going, so just focusing on farming, focusing on roaming around the map. That's all he needs to do. He can sit on these items for a little while.
That's true.
He'll be fine. He doesn't have
I suppose you don't have to crush lane as Rise to win your game. You can just
crush it early.
Just crush the minions and ignore the enemy champion. That'll work out okay.
And the fact that he got some advantages early means that he's now in a very comfortable spot. It's like a retirement fund. It's starting to pay off later on.
Ooh, good smite. Shorter Ace gets the Wraith for himself. I do actually like that both top laners have seemed to hold their teleports up the entire game. I don't believe any of them TP'd back to lane. And so they were always ready to counter gank that bottom lane when things went down. And when you got a Rengar and Evelynn, both of whom can force ganks pretty well. Thresh and Braum have great follow-up or initiation. The fact that both top laners were like, hey, I'm there for you if things go down. They always have their teammates back.
Yeah, they're pretty much countering each other's teleports. I can only just think of the one that was interrupted on Hanser's side.
Yeah.
On the Polymorph. Otherwise, they've just been leaving the lane at the same time. Holding parity with one another.
Yep.
Mid lane push here. Trance with the assistance.
He kind of reveals himself, stacks up some ferocity. He goes, all right, great, I'm at 5.
Yeah, he's just trying to clear.
Hey, ulti's up, he can look bottom.
Get ready for the next gank. They have to set up for the Dragon. 40 seconds on that one. If they get a pick, then it set them up perfectly. And that's what Rengar does best.
And I like that LawPro are actually pushing their lanes up pretty heavily as well. This helps them get ward control. You can see they're pinging like, hey, we want to kind of control this dragon. Guys, can we get the ward over the wall? Heaven Time sees a little mouse, pounces on it. Down goes the ward. And yeah, with his bottom lane pushed up, though, it locks up Cruel. We know that Caitlyn is stuck kind of under her turret last hitting minions. And it says, okay, LawPro, you kind of guarantee a numbers lead. You can take over some board cover. Short race forced, but flash away right away. Nearly was a kill if Haunter had hit that rune prison a quarter second sooner.
It's crazy. His hand went up too.
Yeah.
He was reading from his book. He just doesn't read fast enough.
You get some eyeglasses. Read faster.
Professor Rise would have been the one to go with.
Yep. Would have gotten the spell out in time. You gotta be careful though. Looks like Cognitive want to push to the mid lane as Dragon gets set up. Hood stomps by himself. Knockup's gonna land, and here they go. All of them onto the Lucian. Gets completely obliterated. Well played, Whimsy plus Doppler's Yasuo.
That was a great Whimsy for the speed up, and now they aren't even actually stopping them from reinforcing on this side. They decide to just back up, cut their losses. It looks like LawPro want to engage. They'll counter it.
They're gonna trans the lanes in case they want to pull Haunter in as well, and they do actually. All of them sit inside the box. Three-man Shockwave goes in, and Haunter just looks for shorter race. He almost goes down. Trance puts his body in the way, but it's not enough. Kills coming through now for Cognitive. Actually, as they run away, Dragon Raider falling down as well. 2 kills for LawPro, 7-3 on the scoreboard. Now Heaven Time, pretty extended, and he's gonna go down. Picks up shorter race though for the team. Another double knockup for Doppler. He is trying to run, but that ball is making his life pain. Shield comes out. Laud gets that one. Now 9-4.
God, Laud is such a great player. The way that he's been using his shockwaves all game long, and the way he's not been using them. When he holds on to it and waits for that opportune moment, it's those types of shockwaves that just blow your mind when somebody's playing Orianna. And actually, you know, it's a great comeback mechanic, but it's great for accelerating you and just exacerbating your lead. Watch his ball placement during this entire fiasco. He's going to throw it off the left. They collapse onto it. They do the work for him because the fight trailed off to the right. Then they all just kind of scatter around. They have no HP to fight this. Dragon Raider and Doppler off on the side. Focus the healthy members who are left. Divide, conquer, wrap around, because now you have that little avenue in. They pick up shorter race afterwards. And LOG, he does this so quickly too. He throws it out, eases himself, comes back in off the dissonance that gave the movement speed, and he just has great control this early on in the game because you don't have max cooldown on your spells just yet.
Nope.
He's managing them perfectly though.
Absolutely phenomenal player. I gotta say, Laud's been good every single time we've seen him with this team. I think, as you talked about in the pregame, I think he's LawPro's MVP here. And even though his kill participation is not crazy high, it's only 5 compared to like 7 for Haunter, he's still like, he's the guy that makes all the big plays and makes it happen when it comes to team fights.
Yeah, and LawPro's been a team that's around for a long time, and the last real big roster change they made was that. But we'll get to that in a second, because a fight up top.
Now, knock up there coming in from Dragon Raider. Hoodstomp forced back, but now he can put the cooling in and keep on chasing. Haunter nearly in range. Flashes in, the Q goes on both of them. Now Heaven Time, can he get the root onto Trance? Here's Patoy as well, gets the root from everybody. Turret goes down, both kills as well. LawPro just keep finding the correct battles.
And they get that top turret. They had a dragon previously off the last fight, and they're just completely crushing this game now. 7k gold advantage in 21 minutes. Laud, 220 CS, and they're just collapsing perfectly and making great rotations, even without low.
Oh man, and Doppler's got to be real careful though, because right now he's trying to defend a 3v5. This turret's going to go down right there, so LawPro 2 kills and 2 turrets off that move. And yeah, you're right, we talked about, are they going to be coordinated? Well, yes, they are.
It's actually a 3v4 up top, because Laud was mid, and now he's clearing bottom. All these waves are pushed up. He leaves his team a lot of options here for pressure.
That is perfect from LawPro. They completely put the right number of people in the right spots. Laud, if he gets away from this one as well, this might not happen, though. Dragon Raider wants to slow, gets it. There's the E-Ulti as well. Looks like Laud has nowhere to go. Shield is on. He's now at a 1-1 with a shorter ace. The dissonance might just be enough, and it actually is. So again, LawPro putting the exact right number of people in all the right spots. Half the team recalls back, and yet they maintain minion wave control.
Just pushing it out in the middle, pushing it out top, pushing it out bottom. Doing a really great job of pressuring all the lanes. And actually, what I was saying before was what really put LawPro on the map was the roster change of putting Laud from AD carry to the mid lane and then picking up Hoodstomp.
Yep.
That really made them a force to be reckoned with. They've been a team that's been around for a long time, and they weren't really on a lot of people's maps, as opposed to like really top challenger teams at the time, like Cloud9 Tempest and things along those. But picking up Laud, putting him in the mid, that's huge. That put them right in there in terms of competition. And I know that they moved Nijaki out, but his champion pool was kind of dwindling and playing things like Morgana that were no longer in the meta, and adjusting was really slow for him. Whereas Laud, new player to the mid, he's still picking up the stuff that's really powerful very quickly. He's like, I'm gonna play Syndra, I'm gonna play Orianna, I'm gonna play it well.
Yeah. and he's doing just freaking phenomenally. And I do want to make one secondary point to Nijaki, though, in that I do think you could be this team that plays weird stuff. I know you love singing like teammates praise, for example, where it's like, well, top Kozka's in the meta, but we're going to do it anyway, right? Top Vlad's not in the meta, but we're going to do it anyway. I think you can make a team that works with, you know, mid Morgana, for example. You have to get damage from other sources.
Yeah, you
right?
have to adjust your pick.
Right, like everyone's got to be on the same page with that. And if you don't have hyper carry top and AD carry players, then you can't play that type of style. And that wasn't the roster for LoL. They've got a more conventional mid laner, and this style is working for them.
Yeah, they play a very conventional style here. Hauntzer, though, he does like a little more of the carry top laners. But now, two-man.
Two-man shockwave there. Nearly takes down Dragon Raider. This turret, one hit from dead, and they don't quite take it down, but Cognitive losing so much health right here. The nice Q comes off. Actually, they get really close to that one. The jump on in. Doppler gets the one-on-one kill in the mid lane. That is a big setup for these guys, but they still lose a turret.
Yep, they get themselves a turret. A blue buff maybe on the way out here as well. Dragon in minute 30. They ward up, they back, and they go for the Dragon. And Cognitive have to try and contest this. Doppler got a solo kill mid, team solo kill. Coming up big.
All right. They need more of that, though. They've only got 5 kills so far in this game, but the one guy who is doing well is Doppler here in the mid lane.
He actually doesn't use his ultimate at all in this fight. He just chases Hauntzer down. Want to watch the wind wall here, see if he actually gets one perfectly off. No, doesn't even have to use it.
Just the damage output.
Yep.
Ignite, flashes, everything, makes it go through.
Too much, and Blade of the Ruined King coming up big there for the chase.
There's actually another situation. We've seen it now a couple times with Yasuo's going Zerker Greaves and Blade of the Ruined King. So I went back and found the number. It's 117% bonus attack speed. Puts you at the, basically the cooldown and casting time cap on the Q. Now that could be level 18 plus 60% in items, because he gets 3% per level, or just 117% through all kinds of random sources and whatever. Basically, you don't need Ruined King and Shiv and Zerker Greaves to hit that cap. Now, you will hit the cap sooner. You'll hit that cap at a lower level, but at this point, you basically got superfluous attack speed.
Unless he's auto-attacking people, and then it's still...
And then, yeah, unless he wants, like, just the direct auto-attack attack speed.
Yeah.
Or he fights a Frozen Heart, which, of course, will come in at some point for Ryze, which, again, was the point you made last time we saw this build, was, will it buffers him against Ryze? And that I do agree with.
Now moving for the Dragon. Cognitive actually have the advantage here, but there's the TP behind them. They're all forced away.
Dragon Raider takes a whole bunch of pain, and down he goes right away. The wombo combo works. The wind wall gets dashed through. A second kill comes down. No Heaven Times in the front there, and Doppler gets Rune Prison. 3 kills come through. Hook on a shorter ace. LawPro just keep finding these picks, and kill after kill comes through.
That was a trickle in. They left him, and then everybody's like, oh, wait, no, we got to help him now. It's like that guy you forgot about. And then you're like, oh, no, oh, we forgot about him. Let's go back for him.
It's like Kevin in Home Alone.
Yeah.
Except Kevin can fend for himself.
And Dragon Raider, not so much. Not against that many people. He's not just getting robbed, he's getting mugged, beat up, too.
That was just straight murder at that point.
Ugh. A lot of crimes being committed today. Just the trickle in afterwards and the focused targeting here from LawPro. I'm sure their comms are just shouting out one person's name. It's basically a death note.
And it's going to be Baron now picked up as well for LawPro afterwards. So an 11,000 gold lead, 27 minutes in. These guys are playing very well with the new addition of Patoy. Hoodstomp and Patoy won their duo lane very successfully. You're seeing Patoy specifically completely outplaying Trance here in the bottom lane. You can see, right, 208 compared to 06 and 2. Just much better choices have been made so far. And LawPro as a team do look sharp as well. So, hey, guys look good.
Yeah, Patoy started with the Doran shield. Make sure that he could trade with the Caitlyn. Don't know if it's best decision, but he ended up getting the Talisman of Ascension and the mobility boots to set his team up for these engages and these flanks and these wraparounds. Basically, the team just feels like they're surrounding and stopping people from escaping.
Yeah, there's just enough ways in. The cat ball engage is working. The hooks are landing as well. Hoodstomp is not afraid to just dive past everything and go for the kill right there. We've seen multiple aggressive dashes or flashes. And yeah, with LawPro willing to engage all the time, doing a good job of controlling vision, as you see, like the Eastern jungle, almost no wards for Cognitive. LawPro just keep getting these battles because COG are kind of walking into them without vision.
The ward control all across the river has been really good, and jungle coverage. All of the team just chipping in, buying the wards. Patoy Usually in the late game, it is almost solely the support's job of warding and using those 3 wards he has at his disposal. Patoy's been doing a really damn good job.
He absolutely has, man. There's the pink ward coming out to set up control. They want to watch for Evelynn flanks. Well, guess what? Evelyn's on the other side of this one, so no flanks for her. Turret now taking damage. Trance will try to protect some of that one, but still got to be careful. He's fairly squishy. Only 2 items in his inventory. Combat items, I should say. Sightstone gives health. Top loses the shield. Seed still continuing. Nice wind wall, though. We'll keep him alive for one more wave, but you can see how much damage still comes through. Of course, Footstomp's Q, as well as Hauntzer's Rune Prison will penetrate that wind wall. So some damage can keep coming through here.
They're just chipping away at it. One more wave, and it'll drop. Footstomp, he has the Trinity Force. He has the extra damage from the Infinity Edge. Ultimate from Heaven Time being blown. They're going to rush
go
this.
right on in. There's the shockwave onto 3, and the fight has begun. The turret will go down. Footstomp takes the time to grit that one. Now Heaven Time backing away, but the kills are already coming through. Trance gets locked up. The Wild Growth not going to do much to save him. Doppler gets hooked as well. Dragon hits the box wall. All the kills coming through. Cruel, I'm sorry, but you are going to be going down potentially as well. Triple kill there for a Footstomp, and that's going to be probably the game for LawPro.
Yeah, LawPro looking extremely good. You don't even have to aim the shockwave if it's on the cat that's going to rush right in, and that's what the Talisman Ascension was for, off the back of the Rengar ultimate. Very well played there. 30-minute game here for LawPro over Cognitive. Very decisive.
30-minute game, beautiful play by them, and I like all the little synergies they actually added into their builds. Patoy going for the slightly later coin, but an early Talisman Ascension overall. Sometimes it's like your 3rd item bot. That was basically his first big item after Sightstone. So you speed the cat in. With Command Protect, you can walk through wind walls. There's actually no way to counteract that at that point. You've got to somehow block him with maybe like a Braum ulti. Couldn't happen in that case. And they had the dedicated engage. Heaven Time went pretty much full tank. Lizard Elder into a Randuin's right off the bat. Good choice there. I actually do like the tankier Rangars. We're going to play them as an engaged champion. And just all I can really say is start to finish, LawPro played a really good game. They outskilled their opponents in pretty much every single lane matchup. And they made better choices as a team as well.
Yeah, up top, we saw the first gank go down, ended up with a kill for Haunzer. Then you just left the Rise alone and said, you're good against this Lulu. You're completely fine in that bully lane. Went mid, went bottom, set up really good ganks from Heaven Time. Footstomp got so far ahead, he's just critting you under turret, killing you, pushing up, and that was the first inhibitor they took, and the last one, because they just ended the game off of it.
And that's all it really takes. I mean, and I like the fact that they are decisive. I saw a lot of good moves by LawPro, the guy who is shot calling. I want to say Patoy, but I need to ask someone on that team to be sure. Did a really good job. And again, I just have to go back to that like 20-minute mark where they pushed top, they got the 2 kills, they got the second turret, and they already had Laud in the bottom lane, clearing the waves to make sure when they backed, there was no control left available for Cognitive. Like, to get wars done, you have to push the waves up first because there's too much chance that you're getting trapped from other sides in the map. And they just kind of never let up. They never let COG in on the game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you need to do. You need to basically, once you get a chokehold of your opponent, just don't let go and then end the game.
Yep.
Just huge advantage there is like Cruel had 8.4k gold at the end of the game. Footstomp, 13,000.
Yeah.
He had a 5k gold advantage over him, basically had 2 items.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous how far ahead he was and how much he was pushing that advantage and not just sitting on it. Footstomp's a very aggressive player, and we saw him go for dives there, and that kind of seemed like it suited what Patoy was doing, because Patoy was protecting him from the backline and throwing hooks in. Like that's the thing about a Thresh player. Is some are really good at landing hooks, some are really good at throwing lanterns and being defensive.
Yeah.
But if you can do all of that and use all of his kit to your advantage and greatly timed flays, like things that Xpecial's known for, just combine that and you're like the best Thresh player to ever grace the planet.
Sure.
Patoy was showing signs of that.
And that's kind of the thing to look at is LawPro have been able to rely on the fact that they have great individual playmaking. I think right now it showed they were better than Cognitive at that, but maybe things changed in Game 2. But so far, LawPro look like they can play aggressive champions, push the lanes out, shove every single wave, have a jungler ready to back them up at any single point in time, and just look for the aggressive moves. And it's worked out so well. So maybe we'll see more of the same for LawPro. Maybe we'll see Cognitive bounce back. We've had some series go 3 games already. Now, guys, Zyrene has to recall and buy another Doran's Blade, but when we return, it's time for Game 2 between Cognitive Gaming and Team LawPro. Don't go anywhere.
I'm going to sell my boots for those.
Darn right.
at this
They need
turret.
to wait for the AD carry, but the shotgun comes in right as the turret goes down, and Trance is in the wrong spot, forced to flash away, but they will trade one back. Hook on a Trance, the laser in case they want to pull Hanser in as well, and they do actually. All of them sit inside the box.
Oh!
Three-man shockwave goes into Hanser. Dragon Raider takes a whole bunch of pain, and down he goes right away. The wombo combo works. The Windwall gets dashed through. A second kill comes down. No Heaven Time's in the front there, and Doppler gets Rune Prison. 3 kills come through. Hook on a shorter ace. Now Heaven Time backing away, but the kills are already coming through. Trance gets locked up. The Wild Grove not going to do much to save him. Doppler gets hooked as well. Dragon Raider hits a box wall.